Bishopthorpe. Since 1897 has been home to one of the founding members of the York Minster Engineering Football League, Bishopthorpe United, back then known as the Bishops. During a patchy period of 40 years without a consistent club, Bishopthorpe United renewed itself in 1967 and since then has been a prosperous club, winning the Premier Division in 1996. However, in order to sustain a successful grassroots club, Bishopthorpe was missing one key element: the future. At the time, there was no football for the kids in the village. A group of parents realised this and wanted to change that, and in 1997, Bishopthorpe White Rose was born. One of the parents was Gary Featherstone, who with support had a vision to provide a legacy for future generations by building state-of-the-art facilities, a far-reaching dream at the time, which sometimes felt unachievable. 22 years later, this dream became a reality when White Rose Park was opened. With this being the inaugural season on the new pitches, the crew gained unprecedented access to a football club at the bottom of the pyramid of English football. Discovering the journey over the past 2 decades in forming a junior football club,
we found that it was a handicap not having our own home.
While maintaining focus on trials and tribulations of the men's first team and its endeavour to be promoted.
It's like, oh, they're really good, we need to respect them. It should be, we're decent, let's just play our game, no matter who we play.
It will also provide an insight into the off-field challenges of new facilities, nurturing youth,
from a safeguarding perspective, you've got to get everything right,
and providing a community with a home. From first team players to club volunteers, this heartwarming story will provide a fascinating and humorous view into an area of football that is so important to many people's lives. This is Grassroots.
So starting the lineup today is Booker in goal, right back Greeny, Dom and Sam centre halves, left back Matty Mace, then holding midfield Curtis and Ethy, Matty Acco in front of them, then front three of Seegers on left, Griff on right and Mackie down middle.
Bishopthorpe White Rose Football Club, formerly known as Bishopthorpe United, currently resides in the First Division of the York Minster Engineering Football League.
Two lads, the back four, never played together.
The club has been out of the Premier Division for 17 years, but with them winning the North Riding Cup in August 2020, there is a sense of hope, especially with White Rose Park opening this season.
He'll be spare all the time, decide who's going to be spare, but if one's attacking, the other one's got to drop off and sweep it up. It's a great day for a club. It's been 20 years coming as this. You know, I've been looking at this for 20 years and here we are now. Fantastic setup.
They have 16 matches to achieve their dream of getting this historic club back to the top.
A couple of people are going to have to sweep the changing rooms and we'll do that when we get back in here. Make sure there's no crap left about afterwards. So you get your heads together, you work for each other, you talk to each other, you encourage each other. Something goes bad, we lift our heads up and we go. Okay? Yeah. Are we ready for it?
That was the whole idea. That's what I wanted to see, was to get that setup eventually going and then aim for the Premier League.
Enjoy it. Yeah. If we have to change it a little bit, we will do.
I might be a little bit at fault for maybe wanting us to play football all the time and we go on the 3G and we always get 25, 26 lads down, we never get a bad turnout at training. They're popping it about on there and they're playing quick football.
Curtis, just work with Jack. Yeah. You're holding midfield with him. All right. Yeah, break it up.
We will beat most teams on our pitch.
Yeah, sit think with Jack.
I will. Yeah, like Russ normally does, sit as two holding midfielders there. Yeah. And if he goes, you're going to sit. Yeah. But if you go in, sit. Just talk to him.
Bishopthorpe wants a team that matches the facilities, like any other football club at any level. Bishopthorpe want to win. Just like professional clubs, Bishopthorpe needs to get ready for the season ahead. Pre-season is a time to run off the beer bellies, work on weakness from last season, and most importantly, determine a squad. A problem that plagues every grassroots team.
You can pick a squad Tuesday night after training, talk about it, me and Steve go for a pint, talk about it, and then by Thursday I'm ringing him, such and such has dropped out. Right, we'll do that, we'll change that around. Friday morning, He's dropped out now. Right, we'll have to switch into, and that's what you're doing all the time.
With every pre-season, there's a new sense of hope. Every team believes they can have a good season, and Bishopthorpe is no different. Although they have new pitches, Gary doesn't want the team to train on them, so the old ground, Ferry Lane, still plays an active role. A once respected football ground in York, Ferry Lane is now renowned for the Bishy Bobble. After years of mismanagement and poor groundkeeping, the pitch is now a shadow of its former self.
Well, it's Ferry Lane, so for anyone that don't know, it's like this. It's just a mud pit in winter. It's just awful, basically. Change rooms were like basic. I think, to be fair, how long's Ferry Lane been there? It's years and years, isn't it?
How long has it been?
Yeah, like literally how long. They've been playing on that for like, I swear it's got like 30 years or something.
200 years.
200 years when Gaz was a wee nipper.
About 40, 50 years.
50, yeah, literally like that. So it was like proper basic. Showers were like getting rained on. Shared with the nursery in the other room, so yeah, we couldn't go into the kitchen there. So it was basically just a change room.
Oh,
Trim looks good, mate. You feel?
Is it once a week?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, that.
Go on, feel.
Tom Russell and Jack Keefe both play for Bishopthorpe's men's first team. After becoming close friends playing football together, they are now living together.
Aerodynamics. Swipes so fast, mate, you know it.
Makes him at 1% faster. Yeah. Which is really slow.
100 metres in 22 seconds.
Oh, funny.
So what's on the menu then?
Today,
Yeah.
I'll show you. It's really interesting.
Before every game, Jack and Russ always prepare a pre-match meal, as they feel it makes a difference to their performance.
This is my, look at that there, bit of #1 classic. Can you get that? Is that too close, that, yeah? Basil? Penny pasta. That's literally it. Boring. Speaking of pre-match meals, Russ's best ever game for Bish, he had a full English breakfast. A cruffin? So a muffin / croissant? From like, what's it called? Spring Espresso, and then a Mars bar, because he was hanging one time.
And the
And Luke's had original fizzy one, so he's like literally smashing that and he had the best game of his life, didn't you?
Even Jack is surprised at the cost from Ferry Lane.
What? We paid for Ferry Lane?
It's like 700, 800 quid for that.
I don't know how we did though. I don't.
It's worth about 10p.
We should have held them to ransom.
Parish council.
We should say, we were paying it.
He's even more surprised at the cost from White Rose Park.
80 grand?
A year.
Shit. Fucking hell. Gaz must be rich if he's paying that out of his own pocket.
Jack's been playing football for most of his life, playing at several different grassroots clubs throughout his footballing career.
I was 4, I think. I just remember having like a little gold and black pair of Nike footy boots. Worldy. Played for Poppy, yeah, me and Tom. My dad was manager actually. And then I went from there to like loads of other teams actually. Poppy, New Earswick, Dunnington, Rufforth. Fucking hell. Yeah, that was it, I think.
Jack wants to do whatever he can to make Bishopthorpe a successful team. However, he finds certain things about his team difficult to manage.
We don't have enough players. We get beat or embarrassed by teams and never have the same team.
What? That was the year that we had a horrific start and then won 12 in a row.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Literally wasn't.
With the ever more decreasing player pool for grassroots football, getting a team together for a Saturday afternoon can be challenging, especially if you don't have players coming through a junior club.
Beagle, Rickle and Wombleton, whoever they are. But they've all folded before the season started.
Do you know why?
Just couldn't get players.
Yeah.
Which is mad to me, because it's like, I've played football since I was 4. So like, it's like part of... Okay, funny him. Could you please get some footage of his dodgy passing today after all these comments, aren't they?
Do you ever think you guys will be in the Prem?
We need like 3 players, 3 or 4 players.
You need 3 or 4 more players?
Not necessarily to improve our team, but more to
Squad.
improve the
Squad.
when 2 people are missing.
And do you guys try and like get players like other? Because I remember
No, that's what we lack.
Yeah.
That's what we significantly lack as a club. We do.
Yeah.
And you roll your eyes, but it's true.
Jack Keefe has played for Bishopthorpe for 8 years now and captain for the last 6 seasons, leading the team to the first piece of silverware in 16 years.
Yeah, no, riding challenge cup or something.
Yeah.
Because that seemed like a good night.
That was quality. That was, to be fair, that was actually, that was best day at Bish, that.
That was the best day of my life.
Of your life?
That was amazing. One of them.
It was unreal.
So Gary and Steve, congratulations on a 1-0 win. That was a tough game.
Thanks very much. Go on, Gary.
Yeah, it was a tough game. First half especially, there was nothing really in it, although I think we probably had slightly more chances than them. But second half I thought that we dominated it really, and looked as though really there was only one winner. You know, a good substitution, and he came on and got the goal, so over the moon with that.
The team is coached by Gary Featherstone and Steve Brooks, who both tasted success as managers, winning back-to-back titles in 2003-04 and 2004-05 with another historic York club, Dringhouses.
Gary came down as our first team coach at Dringhouses, and I was then I think I might have been reserve team manager. Nelly Sandor ran the first team. We won everything that season. They had a meeting at the end of the season and said Nelly had fallen out with one or two people, and do you want to take it on? And I took it on, and then the following season you came and ran it with me.
So next week, Old Malton to win treble, and reserves have already won treble. So it would make an absolute outstanding season.
6 trophies, you can't ask more than that, can you really?
After every training session, Gary and Steve go to the village pub, the Marcia, to discuss training, the game ahead, who's playing and who isn't.
I'm devastated, girls.
Why?
Because your pockets don't look like they've got anything in them.
Yes, damn it.
I'm looking after you.
Yeah, you are. You don't need that shit.
Now they've turned their attention to trying to replicate their success at Bishopthorpe, where Gary has had an active role in the club for the past 23 years.
I do think Bishopthorpe White Rose are better than Bishopthorpe United were 3 or 4 years ago. Not as good as Bishopthorpe United were when they were the best in York.
Not yet, no.
Not yet, but the potential, and all these lads that are with Gaz now, are the young lads really.
Yeah.
Average age of 25, 26.
Yeah.
They're not even at the peak of football. And we've got some mint players.
The setup will help as well. We've had players coming in and going, this is awesome. Teams that we're playing against. Every team said this is unreal.
Every team that's come to White Rose Park has said, oh, this is amazing, isn't it?
Referees.
That's got to drag people to want to play there.
Yeah.
Because we're great. We're welcoming as well. So if anyone comes in, they just get told to stand up on a chair and do a song, and that's it. You're in.
Yeah, we've got some great lads, and I think the future is positive for Bishop White Rose. I do, big time.
Before the season kicks off, Gary has paid a visit to White Rose Park to check everything is ready and prepared for the first ever game on the new pitch.
2 main pitches, 2 9v9s, a junior 11 aside, a couple of mini soccers and a couple of 7v7s, so all about 8 pitches in total.
Well, my name's Josh Swan, and I'm the club secretary for Bishopthorpe White Rose Football Club. I've been doing it I've been involved in the club for 12 years, and I think I've been club secretary for about 7 years now. I started off really being a coach because my children wanted to play, so it's really supporting the teams that my kids have been involved in.
Since the early years, the club has gone from strength to strength, from 2 teams in the beginning to over 500 registered juniors playing at present. It was out of necessity that Gary and other parents started a junior club.
We found that it was a handicap not having our own home. We would have to go around hiring pitches, and we played, I think, at 4 or 5 different pitches across York, trying to book facilities. So having our own home meant that we could actually at last have our own place to train and our own place to play our home games, and also have our own clubhouse and generate some income from that.
We'll go into the kitchen, and then fully functioning kitchen. Just selling drinks, sandwiches, sweets, crisps, whatever. We're making about £700 on a weekend.
We got close to acquiring some land and getting support, but never quite got there until probably about 5 years ago now. The council came with an opportunity for us to basically have the land just off Simbolt Lane where we are now. It wasn't used for anything else. It was greenbelt land. It wasn't going to be used for any development. And they felt that having football pitches on there would be a good use of that space. And because of the size of our club and our needs, they approached us and we'd be interested in taking that forward.
This is the function room. So obviously this is where people come on a weekend. Going forward, we probably could look at, or we are thinking of looking at renting it out occasionally for people. You'll get flip charts, even get tellies up for... I mean, the FA run courses and they're always looking for venues to do first aid courses, to do safeguarding. When, obviously, once COVID's finished and the courses get back to being in-class courses, then, yeah, we'll probably look to make money on that. What the guys want is if you come in after a game, you can get a couple of beers, a couple of bottles of beer, there's a plate of chips, bread and butter, and the scores are coming in. So you only need BBC for that, don't you? Football final score. That's what the guys are happy with for an hour. Have a good chat, check the bets.
From the outside, setting up a sports club may seem an easy task, but there are many bridges you have to cross before you can get kids kicking a ball.
Interested, but obviously we haven't got the money as a volunteer organisation to be able to acquire some land and build pitches and a clubhouse. So DFA will always support, of course, because they do fund these kind of projects. And what they like to do is get to know the club, the people involved, and then you discuss your needs with them. And then once you've got their support at that level, they will help you try to find appropriate land. And that's always the biggest difficulty, to be honest. And that's why we need to bring in York Council to help us with searching for a piece of land which was suitable for developing it onto a football pitches.
We're quite fortunate here that we've got 4 changing rooms, so we can accommodate 2 senior matches on a weekend. The bottom 2 there, first 1 and 2 changing room are the home teams, and these are for the away teams. And then you've got referees room number 2. You can't complain about that if you're a referee, compared to Ferry Lane, sat with everything piled on top of you and no shower. So just an example of one of the away dressing rooms.
Once you've got a club of people that they trust, once you've got the land that they know that is dedicated to football, then they're willing to invest, and that's why it took so long to get it sorted. We had to ourselves raise £80,000 as our share of the money. Then we had to go through a long process of getting grant money from the FA, as well as convincing the council to also contribute as well, to the land, because the land needed development. It was just basically farming land, so it needed football pitches built on there. And then we also had to build a pavilion as well.
So that's the main pitch is right in front of us. That's the main senior pitch, the 11v11. I mean, you can see just out here when you can get people sat with tables and chairs all the way around.
The maintenance of these facilities is very costly, something the club has to consider on a weekly basis, which can carry huge responsibility.
But raising 80,000 for a small volunteer organisation is difficult. We already ask our players to pay subs every year anyway, so they already pay that, and you're basically going back to those same people to raise money. So we had events. We also looked for businesses to sponsor us, and it probably took in total 2 years to raise that money.
So we've got 1 7-a-side plus the 2 mini soccer going across, and then another main pitch there.
Just 2 pitches?
Just 2 pitches on this one.
So it's been 3 years since you set this up. How long has it been in the planning to get this something like this somewhere?
20 years. We pretty soon realised, even when we started in '99, that if we were going to expand, we weren't just going to survive on the school, and with the pitch off Mrs. Chapman. So, to be fair, the lads, they were absolutely amazed by it. I don't think, when I've been telling them, yeah, we'll be getting on there soon, I don't think they realised how good it was going to be.
It's the first game of the season, a cup match versus Brooklyn, a game which carries so much emotion, optimism and excitement. Bishopthorpe are desperate to win the first match on the new ground. There's a sense of confidence and eagerness in the players and the coaches. This season, the team will be embarking on a new chapter of Bishopthorpe's history, boasting a brand new home pitch, a playing field that cannot be blamed.
As soon as kickoff has started, drama is already unfolding. Brooklyn have an early call for a penalty, which is dismissed by the referee. Bishopthorpe get off to the worst start and concede a soft goal from a long ball over the top. Jamie Mackey levels the game at 1-1 thanks to some great build-up play. After continued pressure, Bishopthorpe had two quick goals, one from under 19 players Griff and the other goal by Mackey, who caught the goalie off guard with a half volley outside the box. Another sloppy goal is conceded by Bishopthorpe, a set piece which deflected off one of the White Rose defenders into the back of the net. To put Bishopthorpe's managers' minds at ease before half-time, Andrew Seeger slots home a fourth. After a frantic first half, Gary brings the team in.
Too late to get, he's making his run, or he's making his run, or Griff's making his run, and we're just that bit too fucking holding on. Split second too long, because they're playing a high line, and they're trying to charge out to catch you off. Don't need to make that run quickly. We just fucking, but the ball's got to go that split second. It is only a split second that has to go quickly.
The second half kicks off, and with 10 minutes gone, Brooklyn have scored another goal to close the gap, making it 4-3. After sustained pressure by Brooklyn, Bishopthorpe regroup and start to create some of their own chances. To the frustration of Gary, who feels his team may be punished if they do not score again. Luckily, 5 minutes later, Mackey scores his third of the game, easing the pressure on the team. Now the pressure is off, White Rose had two more goals, scored by Matty Atkinson and Andrew Seeger.
Hey boys, that. Hey, to put a team out that hasn't played together, and 3 out of the back 4 completely new, that's an outstanding performance. Well done, boys. I know we give a soft goal away and maybe a couple of soft goals, but when we had chances to bury it at 4-2 early doors, we should have really put that away. Yeah, 6-7-2, but made up for it. You know, we got the goals, thoroughly deserved. It dropped off a little bit second half when they got on top of it. What they're going to do? You're not going to dominate any team for 90 minutes. You're going to have periods where they're in the game. It's what you do in them periods, and we hung in there, and then we powered away again. So absolutely excellent performance. I'm chuffed to bits with that, and you lot should be.
I agree with you.
Right, corner flags. These can stay out, but the goals need pushing into the middle and locking up.
Right. Best thing for me was no more than each other. Yeah.
I'll just have to go and start.
Good to win on first game on pitch.
We got a little bit excited.
After the game, Gary, Steve and the team stay behind and celebrate the win, but more importantly give recognition to their new home.
I think I emailed the committee members that I work with to, that's really put this in place about Saturday, and I suppose it was quite emotional really, just thinking back 20 years, thinking about all the people who've were part of the club then that aren't around. But yeah, obviously father-in-law, Barry Tate, he would have loved to have seen it. My dad would have loved to have seen it, because obviously watching the grandkids playing right from the beginning of the club. And obviously Jackie, she was down, saw the first game with Barry being a dad and everything. But without the people in this village, these people put hours and hours of their own time in, week after week after week. It's not just me. There's loads and loads of people, and all the coaches who work on a Saturday and Sunday. If I walk on here now, a lot of people don't even know who I am. But that's how a club evolves, Yeah, it was a great day. Great day, but long time, 20 years, long time.